when he'll join your speaker.
Time is there.
Okay.
Yes, namaste to everybody. Subhodayam, very good morning. We shall commence today's program, today's webinar on Swachh Soch and Swachh Manas for Resurgent India. Please get ready and stabilize yourself without much disturbance to you and to others. Concentrate on the proceedings and absorb the spirit of Swachh Manas and Swachh Soch. We shall start with prayer and other agenda. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। यथाग्नेर्दाहिका शक्ति रामकृष्णे स्थिता हिया सर्वविद्यास्वरूपां तां शारदां प्रणमाम्यहम्। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आन शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ. Let us pray for the well-being of all people, for the welfare and good health, strength, peace, and wisdom of all our fellow beings. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, sarvastaratu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarvasad buddhima apnotu, sarvas sarvatra nandatu. Harihi Om Tat Sat. May all be happy, may all be peaceful, may all be free from difficulties, free from dangers, free from diseases. May all see what is good, listen what is good, do what is useful to others, and speak what is good to others. May all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy everywhere, may all be peaceful everywhere. So, this is a very important webinar, as other webinars also are very important, but this deals with our mind, deals with our thoughts, and deals with our action for the good of the society, good of our country. So, the next item of our webinar today is a wonderful bhajan by our volunteer and student, Sri Anirudh Sharma, who is accomplished percussionist, an instrumental musician, tabla, pakawaj, kanjira and others, and also a wonderful singer, a vocalist. So he is doing his second year mass communications in Hyderabad. He will render a bhajan for all of us, suiting to the topic, and then we shall proceed forward. Over to Sri Anirudh Sharma. Welcome, Anirudh.
Pranam Maharaj, thank you so much for this opportunity.
All the best. Carry on.
Thank you, Maharaj. So actually Maharaj had told me to give him 2-3 options, but I could not. So the one that I have decided is Vaishnava Janato. I feel it is suited for the topic because today's topic is Swachh Manas and Swachh Soch, right? So this song is actually, it was popularized during Mahatma Gandhiji's period because it was one of his favorites, but in reality it has much more a deeper meaning and deeper relevance to us at any given point of time. It says that Vaishnava means a good person is that person who is compassionate, who understands another person's feelings, who understands another person's pain, peed parai jane re, and who tries to help as much as he can or as they can, without even getting this much of ego or feeling very proud to do something good that way. So वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए पर दुखे उपकार करे तोए मन अभिमान नाने रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे सकल लोक मा सहुड़े वंदे निंदा न करे केणी रे बाच काच मन निश्चल राखे धन धन जननी तेनी रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे। समदृष्टि ने तृष्णा त्यागी, पर स्त्री जेने मात रे। जिह्वा थकी असत्य न बोले, जिह्वा थकी असत्य न बोले, पर धन नव झाले हाथ रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, पीड़ पराई जाने रे। मोह माया व्यापे नहीं जेने, दृढ़ वैराग्य जेना मन मारे। राम नाम शू ताली रे लागी, सकल तीरथ तेना तन मारे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, पीड़ पराई जाने रे। वन लोभी ने कपट रहित छे, काम क्रोध निवार्या रे। भन्ने नरसैयो तेनु दर्शन करता, कुल एको तेरो तार्या रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, पीड़ पराई जाने रे। पर दुखे उपकार करे, तोए मन अभिमान नाने रे। वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे, वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे।
Yeah, Anirudh, as usual, wonderful. You have got a Saraswati Kripa of playing and singing. It's a very interesting combination, concentration. A little bit about this song.
Definitely, Maharaj. So this song, actually, I can see Swami Vivekananda's image when I listen to this song, because
Yeah.
as it is, I mean, this whole song is basically about him. It says that निंदा न करे केनी रे, okay, वाच काच मन निश्चल राखे. The vani, your how you speak to anybody and all, it should be very free from any kind of kapat, any kind of ulterior motive like that. And who is Samadarshi, who sees everything as the same, like Vedanta and Gita, all of them speak about this, that you must be able to see everything as the same. Samadarshi ne. And one line in this, it says that Dhan Dhan Janani Teri Re. Maharaj was telling me about one song on Swami Vivekananda, in which it is a Ratna Garbha Nari to Swami Vivekananda's mother. Such a fortunate woman to have a son like this, like Swami Viji. So like the person who is like this, who follows all this, Samadarshi, who's having compassion, such a person's mother, Dhana Dhana Janani, mother is so fortunate like that. So the whole song, it speaks about that. And if you're more interested, anybody in the seminar, they can go and read about it. It's very interesting song. I do not want to take too much time of the seminar. That's why I'm telling it very short. That's why. Thank you, Maharaj.
Got disconnected here. So
Maharaj.
anyway, current went off, current came as usual. Okay. So anyway, thank you very much,
Thank you, Maharaj.
Anirudh, and may God bless you, may Mother bless you. Hope to see you soon in every way of the term. And keep up that spirit of performance and learning and absorbing, contributing to the welfare of the youth. Thank you very much. So namaste to everybody. Thank you, Anirudh. We shall proceed with the next item, which is a recitation, understanding Swami Vivekananda. It's not just quoting something or the other from somewhere and appreciating him, but what exactly he has said. Week after week, we are listening to our volunteers who are narrating so beautifully, who are reciting, who are feeling, who are practicing these teachings. And over to Ms. Parvita and Neha, our volunteers and students of the Vivekananda Bala Vikas Kendra and Vivekananda Institute of Human Excellence. Parvita and Neha, please.
Our pranams to the Holy Trio. Namaste Swamiji. Namaste to the highly distinguished speakers present in the webinar.
After 4 years of residence in the West, Swamiji returned to India, landing at Colombo, where people were eagerly waiting to give him a hearty welcome.
Today, we the students of Bal Vikas are here to share the reply of Swamiji in his response to the welcome from Ramnath.
The longest night seems to be passing away. The sorest trouble seems to be coming to an end at last. The seeming corpse appears to be awaking, and a voice is coming to us.
A way back where history and even tradition failed to peep into the gloom of the past, coming down from there, reflected as it were from peak to peak of the infinite Himalayas of knowledge and of love and of work, India, this motherland of ours, a voice is coming unto us.
Gentle, firm, and yet unmistakable in its utterances, and is gaining volume as days pass by. And behold, the sleeper is awakening. Like a breeze from the Himalayas, it is bringing life into the almost dead bones and muscles. The lethargy is passing away, and only the blind cannot see, or the perverted will not see.
That she is awakening this motherland of ours from her deep, long sleep. None can resist her anymore. Never is she going to sleep anymore. No outward power can hold her back anymore, for the infinite giant is rising to her feet.
This is the ancient land where wisdom made its home before it went into any other country. Here is the same India whose soil has been trodden by the greatest sages that ever lived.
This is the motherland of philosophy, of spirituality, and of ethics, of sweetness, gentleness, and love.
He still exists, and my experience of the world leads me to stand on firm ground and make the bold statement that India is still the first and foremost of all the nations of the world in these respects.
What we want are some young men who will renounce everything and sacrifice their life for their country's sake. Stand and die in your own strength. If there is any sin in the world, it is weakness. Avoid all weakness, for weakness is sin. Weakness is death.
Let us all work hard, my brethren. This is no time for sleep. On our work depends the coming of the India of the future. She is there ready, waiting. She is only sleeping.
Arise and awake and see her seated here on her eternal throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than she ever was, this motherland of ours.
May that which we have listened to and studied today become food to us. May it become strength in us.
May it become energy in us to help each other. Swami Vivekananda's faith rested in the future generations. Therefore, let us all understand his words in their true spirit and apply ourselves to work in their light.
Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavaran, Nibodhata.
Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Thank you, Jai Ramakrishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Applause for all of you, both of you. Ranjanji from Mangalore, how did you feel and what is your wishes to these young students? Ranjan from Mangaluru, please come online and you can unmute and speak. Ranjan.
Pranam Swamiji, it's wonderful. Pranam Swamiji, it's wonderful. Going good, Swamiji. Thank you.
Give your suggestion, advice to them, or wishes to them, young students. They are only 10th standard.
Yes, wonderful. We are very happy and we are inspired. And we can also start such kind of activities in Mangaluru Ashram. Yes. In fact, they are, yes.
Ahmedabad will lead the light and you can
Yes, Maharaj.
realize it.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
Maharaj.
Thank you very much. They'll be very happy. They'll be very happy.
Thank you.
Okay, friends and the participants of this webinar. Now we have one more small event, small program, which will be on Indian cultural values. Two of our youth volunteers of Hyderabad will speak on different aspects of Indian culture and Swami Vivekananda's message and take a oath to propagate it, to practice it, and to promote it in the whole country in the future. Over to the volunteer force. Yeah.
First of all, my pranams to the Holy Trio. Namaste and pranams to Swamiji for giving us this opportunity and always encouraging us. So this initiative of oath taking on various aspects of reviving culture was launched with the idea that it would reach every youth of our nation to participate and take part in Swamiji's message and move it forward to others. So today, I would like to tell about the Trigunya. Whatever actions we do in our life, it is a combination of these three gunas: the sattva, the rajas, and the tamogunas. Many of us know that these three gunas decide our desires, our want for something. We go to a shop, we see a dress. The sattva guna within us tells us that this is a dress, but the rajasva guna makes us decide it. But the tamoguna creates a strong desire within us that yes, I need this. Builds a desire within us, and I want it and I want to achieve it at any cost. This is just a small example in our day-to-day lives, but as we do so, it is applied to any action what we do in our life, in our day-to-day life itself. So let us understand and choose our path carefully and wisely in whatever action we do, and let us not try to be influenced by any of the nature of these three gunas, and let us reduce our desires. On this note, I would like to take an oath on this occasion that I, Supriya Yadlapati, the youth of Bharata, take this oath to revive and strengthen our culture by practicing and spreading the importance of our Samskriti to my classmates, friends, and family. And I hope everyone present here in this webinar too will take up this oath and follow and spread Swamiji's message. Now I would request Leela Mahesh for his insights on leadership and reviving culture. Over to Leela Mahesh.
Thank you, Didi. Namaste, everyone. First, let us keep aside how the society defines leadership and education. So, firstly, why do we go to school and why do we get educated? The answer to this question is very simple as it seems, but it takes a lifetime for us to realize it. So we go to school and we get educated to build our abilities. And why do we build our abilities? We build our abilities to be useful to the world in whatever way we can. So a true leader uses his or her abilities to be useful to the world. So how do we define leadership? So and when can you become a leader? You can be a leader through your profession. If you are a government employee, you can be punctual every day. You can do your job on time, and that's some leadership. And you can do be a leader in times of crisis also. So there's a gap in the present society. There's a gap between education and leadership. We feel education and leadership are two different concepts, two different things. But in fact, there is no education without leadership, and there is no leadership without education. So the moment we bridge the gap between education and leadership is when a true leader comes out. So let me take the oath to spread what real leadership is. I, the youth of Bharata, take the oath to revive and strengthen our culture by practicing and spreading the importance of leadership to my classmates, friends, and family. And I hope everyone in the webinar also tries to understand what real leadership is and work on it. Now I pass it on to Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji, for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, both of you, who have presented and taken the oath on Indian culture, Indian values, and how you are going to take this forward. It's a very important decision, very important resolution that you have to carry on all through your life by the grace of Sri Ramakrishna. Now, we move on to the main agenda of this webinar, which is Swach, Soch, Swach Manas for a Resurgent India. Sri Ranjan Bellarpady, who is a volunteer, a chief coordinator of Swach Manas and Swach Soch programs of the Ramakrishna Mission Mangaluru, which is a branch of the Ramakrishna Math and Mission of the whole country. They had launched a Swachh Bharat Abhiyan under the request of the central government, and they took it very seriously, very sincerely for a very long time. I am not going into the statistics, not going into the details, because the chief coordinator himself is presenting the ideas and the thoughts, and maybe he will show a couple of videos or the PowerPoints as per his convenience, and listen to the idea of Swach Soch and Swach Manas. This is a very important idea, a very important tool for making our life better. Swachh Bharat, everybody knows. You can clean the streets, you can clean the schools, you can clean the drainages and make things better, clean for our country. But again, the bad things will happen. Again, the dirty things will be thrown into the society, unless and until Swach Manas is there. And Swach Manas is like a different softwares. And what kind of software we need for our brain? Swach Soch, pure thinking. Pure thinking and pure mind both go together. So once that is taken care, my mind itself will become a teacher and say, I will not spit anywhere. I will not throw garbage anywhere. I will not insult anybody. I will not annoy others by my words. Some kind of break, some kind of self-control will dawn upon the personality. And that is how a resurgent India can be taken place. Somebody asked Swami Vivekananda his success formula. How he became so successful by a 3-minute speech or by a 1-hour speech in the United States in the such alien atmosphere. Is it his English? Is it his dress? Is it just quoting some scriptures? No. Swamiji said, it is because of the power of purity. Power of purity, shaucha, shaucha, shaucha. External, shaucha, internal. And that shaucha is defined in Hindi and in our language as Swachh Bharat, as Swach Soch, Swach Manas. So unless you participants and all of us here, young and old, develop that Swachhata internal, the external will remain as it is. So let us make it inside-out program and serve the society and evolve in our spiritual life. So I request Ranjan, our volunteer and coordinator, who stays in the Ramakrishna mission itself in Mangaluru and takes care of all the things. They are spreading it out, and it's an amazing program. I have seen so many times while visiting Mangaluru, and I request Ranjan to inspire the young audience of the country through his ideas and the facts which Mangaluru Ramakrishna mission has taken up. Over to Ranjan.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so much. So, pranam to Puja Swamiji, and namastes to all the participants of this webinar and the co-speaker and all the volunteers who are working hard to make this event great success. So, in order to sum up the idea, say Swachh Manas and Swach Soch for Resurgent India. Say what our Adhyaksha Swamiji in the Ramakrishna Math, Mangaluru believes that the cleanliness is not one day's job, it is a continuous work. It will happen on a regular basis, then only we can bring a change in the society. As Swami Vivekananda said, 3 P's for all of us, say purity, patience, perseverance, over above is love. So in this regard, when the Honorable Government of India through Honorable Prime Minister requested Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission in 2014, the Ramakrishna as a whole Ramakrishna order So in Mangaluru, we started a Swachh Mangaluru Abhiyan in 2015. So under which our Adhyaksha Swamiji said that we should bring transformation through a young mind, then only we can achieve a Swachh Bharat for a long period of time. So in this regard, our chief convener, Puja Swami Ekagamyanandaji, who took the task and he inspired all of us, and we successfully conducted this massive cleanliness drive for 5 long years, my dear friends. So under which Swachh Manas is a unique program where it is an intellectual level where we are bringing transformation among the children. So let me bring this whole lot ideas how we brought changes in the society in the mindset level rather than that of just cleaning like a corporation or authority. So our job of Swachh Bharat is not just one day job or not just to clean the places. It is to bring a transformation in the society. So I'll take the help of PPT where you can see the pictures and view, and we can understand the ideas and our work. It's opening. Let's take a minute. Presentation. Okay, so please orient yourself to the screen. So the Swachh Mangaluru for from a selfless service to the social entrepreneurship. That's the unique topic what I used to prefer. So my dear friends, so Ramakrishna Mission is started a Swachh Mangaluru Abhiyan in 2015 on the special request from Government of India. As Swami Vivekananda said, if there is any land on this earth that can lay claim to be blessed, Punya Bhumi, it is India. And from Kashmir to the Kanyakumari, our India is the beautiful and the glory. From Sujalam, Sufalam, Maleja Shitalam, and we say, and its glory goes like that. And indeed, Swamiji always says, if there is any land on this earth that can lay to be blessed, Punya Bhumi, it is India. The screen. The net is having little network issues here, so
can continue.
Can you, Swamiji, can you see the screen?
Yes, please continue. Nice it is.
So, which one you are seeing, Swamiji?
Sujalam Sufala.
Okay, yes, Swamiji. Yes, so the Sujalam, Sufalam, Maleja Shitalam, that's India. It's a beautiful India. But what happened to our present India is the present India is completely stinking, and we are throwing the garbage here in the country. And if we see even in our cities, it looks so dirty, where we are throwing our garbage across the corners, irrespective of the places we are throwing the garbage in our city. Say, whenever we see the garbage, my dear friends, the first picture comes to our mind when we see our garbage. When we see the picture, the garbage means either it is a problem or it is a profit. So the problem means it is a problem for the people who are in the administration. When we take the garbage issue, they say it's a problem and we cannot solve it. And if you ask the others, the scrap buyers or maybe rack pickers, they say this garbage is a profit. So, but for us, the Swachhata is the service. So, my dear friends, on the special request from Government of India, we started a Swachh Mangaluru Abhiyan, where the Swachhata becomes a continuous service activity for all of us, including the Swamijis brothers and the devotees and a whole lot system of the volunteers, they actively participated in this mega cleanliness drive. So as a result of this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we conducted a extensive cleanliness drive, say Swachh Bharat, Swachh Mangaluru, Swachh Manas and the Swachh Soch. The Swachh Manas, what the today's topic, Swachh Manas and the Swachh Soch, is a unique program where we are trying to bring a behavioral changes among the students and the youths. The Swachh Manas is a program, it's a 5 months intense program. It has a systematic modules. It can be conducted in the schools. First, we had an orientation for all the children where they have to enroll. And after getting enrolled, we give an oath to them. After giving the oath, the children has to take part in the cleanliness drive, where we train them in such a way that it becomes the part of life. So my dear friends, in order to achieve this cleanliness in the schools and colleges, particularly in the Swachh Manas, we brought a unique workbook called Swachhata Mantana. Say it is a first of its kind in India, I can say, that workbook on cleanliness. We can send you a soft copy if you write a mail, where we brought a success story on cleanliness, and the children, we gave us scenarios where children can undergo and they can learn. In the Swachh Soch, it is for a college student. Swachh Manas is for the schools and Swachh Soch for a college, where the children actively take part in the Swachh Manas, where in Swachh Soch we conducted a seminar for college students where we have given action plans to them. We involve them in the cleanliness drive in the localities, and along with that we gave a idea of pot composting also, where they can convert all the wet waste in their respective places, say the home. So my dear friends, as a result of Ramakrishna Mission Swachh Mangaluru Abhiyan, we got a model called Swachh Mangaluru model. So in this Swachh Mangaluru model, we have this idea called our waste, our responsibility, and our participation. So in our waste, our responsibility, what we did is, the first we went and we said, you have a waste in your house which having 100% of waste, which can be easily understood as the wet waste and dry waste. The first and the foremost step what you have to do is that first you have to segregate the waste. Without segregating the waste, you cannot convert the waste into compost. So what we said is that first you understand the waste, where the 60% of the waste is the wet waste and the 40% of waste is a dry waste. And the 60% of the wet waste can be converted into a compost with the help of this unique pot composting techniques. So my dear friend, the Swachh Manas, what we are highlighting here is that where we are giving them action plans to the people. We are not only just telling them that you do the Swachh Bharat, you do Swachh Bharat. Along with this, we are also giving an action plan. Through this, they can convert all the wet waste into the compost. The 40% of the dry waste, what it is left over after the wet waste, it will be sent for the recycling with the help of the corporation or maybe municipal authorities. So through this, we conducted about 250 program in the Mangaluru city. So this program where we invited the people and they involved in the active participation, and they continuously take part in our cleanliness drive. So through this, my dear friends, 5,000 people, they adopted this pot composting techniques in their respective home, where they started converting all their wet waste into the compost. So it is indeed a very happy news that where the people actively involved, and they per day, as a result of Ramakrishna Mission Swachh Mangaluru Abhiyan, 2 tons of waste, which means 2,000 kg of wet waste is not going to dumping yard today as a result of Ramakrishna Mission Swachh Mangaluru Abhiyan. If I go further, I can say that our participation, in this our participation, what we did is that, so we went and started cleanliness drive as an awakening program. So we involved the citizens irrespective of caste, creed, or maybe of political party, where the people took part in the cleanliness drive. And every Sunday, people were coming and they were actively involving in this cleanliness drive. As a result of this, more than 2 lakh man hours of cleanliness drive we conducted in our city, and more than 10,000 volunteers actively take part in this cleanliness drive. Along with this, we created door-to-door campaign where our young students, you can see it in the picture, where the young children took part in this awareness program. They went to shop after shop. They created a lot of awareness among the public. And in the rural India, as Swamiji says, the mud and our mission activity should go to the rural India. As a result, we went to the rural India where we created a lot of awareness in the rural area. As a result, 200 villages, which is near to our ashram, actively involved in this cleanliness drive. And in the Swachh Manas program, where a platform to create awareness among the children, which we conducted this program in 250 schools covering 25,000 children. That's what I said earlier. We created a unique workbook on cleanliness called Swachhata Mantana. This workbook was distributed among 25,000 children, an extensive program where the children started learning on cleanliness and they started practicing through this workbook, and the children started implementing that ideas in their home and even in the classrooms. So if I go further, my dear friends, say there was a lot of unnecessary banners were there in our city, which we removed it and we started contributing to our city making clean. So, and even in the wall paintings, we painted a lot of wall paintings, and we gave the water purifiers in the villages and in the schools. And we also created a unique program called Magic Show for Cleanliness. It's a unique program. Once again, why I say that for the first time in India, this kind of unique thought has come up. Say through Magic Show, can we create awareness on cleanliness? That was a big question for all of us, and it became a success. Through an internationally renowned magician, Kudroli Ganesh, he went to around 200 schools and about other 50 public platforms, where he created a lot of awareness on cleanliness through magic shows. The children liked it a lot, and it became a movement again, and once again they contributed towards Swachh Manas and Swachh thoughts. So there were a lot of black spots. Even if you see in your cities, where the people throwing the garbage in their nearby places, it became a big issue even in our city. There were about 900 black spots in our city, where the people throwing the garbage in the public areas, where we started cleaning all such places, and we converted all the black spots to green spot. So as a result, my dear friends, today, say more than 900 black spots started converted into the green spot. And if I go to the next is the Arise Awake Paths. So like such, there was some of the neglected bus shelters in the city. It was totally neglected, and it cannot be converted in a very small amount. So even the authorities started off taking the big budgets, and they were misusing the amount. But our volunteers, they started thinking of this kind of unique bus stands, where you can see it in the picture, where the before and after, where we converted all the beautiful bus shelter like such. The Ramakrishna Mission Mangaluru contributed about 7 bus shelters in the city. So if I go further, say earlier the people used to scare to stand under the such bus shelters, but later on it became the beautiful selfie place to take the pictures. So if I go further, even such kind of flyovers, you can see it even in your cities. You can see the flyover where it was totally neglected. Such flyovers we converted, and we made it a beautiful place. And even further, even we have given the social awareness messages, both the sides of the panels of the flyover. And Puja Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj inaugurated this flyover last year in October 2nd, 2019. He expressed a very much satisfactory remark towards our work. So my dear friends, if I go further, say some of the parks in our city was totally neglected. You can see it in the picture where even the children, they never used to come for such a neglected parks. But we took an initiative and we converted all such parks into in a beautiful way, where we repainted it and we converted all such parks into a beautiful area. Before inauguration itself, the children came and they started playing. So this is what the impact we can see it in our city. So the further if I go, the Ramakrishna Mission conducted a lot of extensive activities. Say one of which, the first of its kind in Mangaluru, it's called a Miyawaki urban foresting. The Swachh manas to impart a deeper thought through the permanent structure. So this is a picture. What you are seeing is a completely neglected area. It was almost a dumping yard, where we converted all such dumping yard into a beautiful garden, which means with the 5 cents of land, we converted all that land into a Miyawaki urban foresting. So what is this Miyawaki means? In a small, I tell that it is discovered by the professor Akira Miyawaki, a Japanese professor. Within a small place, we can put lot of saplings. So like such, we planted a Miyawaki in the dumping yard. Through this, again, the children, again, they came back and they started a significant impact among the children. So if I go further, so a lot of auto shelters we constructed and we distributed the dust bins. And this is a unique seat which I captured. So where the people, they don't like to sit in such kind of neglected seats. Even the women, when the men come and sit next to them, they won't prefer to sit with the strangers. So we thought we should bring some unique idea so that we can solve this problem. As a result, my dear friends, we brought this kind of single seater with a very minimum amount of budget. This kind of thousands numbers seats we give it in the Mangalore city. So it's all success happened because of our proud volunteers. And I may not quote everyone, but on behalf of all, I tell you this person. His name is Mr. Jagan. He's physically handicapped. His two-wheeler become four-wheeler now. One fine day, he called to Swamiji and he asked, Swamiji, can I take part in this cleaners drive? So Swamiji said, okay, fine, welcome. So we were thinking that what he can do. But trust me, he was actively involved in cleaners drive, where within his two-wheeler, he carried a water tank and he started distributing water to other participants. And slowly he started involving in cleaners drive by removing the banners, and he started collecting the waste in his two-wheeler and he was giving it to the lorry. And one newspaper cutting, it says beautifully that it says to all of us that this differently abled Swachhata Yodha, referring to Mr. Jagan, is bit ahead of the abled body, which means he is bit ahead of all of us. My dear friends, we always blame, we always criticize, we always appoint to the government. But what we are doing, that's a big question. But Jagan has actively participated in cleaners drive, where he convert all his wet waste into the compost in his home, and he manage his dry waste, and he's contributing towards Swachh Bharat actively. So our group, now we had a small group called Swachhata Yodha in the WhatsApp, where our volunteers take part an active participation in the city, where they go and they try to solve the problems on waste management. And like such, this irrespective of religion, caste, creed, or a gender, and irrespective of a disability, or maybe you are physically fit or not, even the Swamijis, everyone has actively take part in this cleaners drive. Say on September 29 last year, we concluded this mega cleanliness drive in our city, Mangaluru. So my dear friends, Pujya Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj has blessed all of us, and he said this kind of activity should continue. But then we had a big question for all of us, that what to do, what is the next. So in that time, my dear friends, this social service has taken a new form, that is a social entrepreneurship. We, the volunteers of Ramakrishna Math Mangaluru, the guidance of ashram, started a unique service activity, that is Mangala Resource Management Private Limited. It's a small startup which tried to provide a solution for solid waste management. Yes, my dear friends. So at present, we are offering 3 services, say zero waste village, Mangalore waste management in the apartments, and consultancy and training. Through this startup, at present, we are providing service to the 20,000 people every day by converting about 5 lakh kg of garbage every year. Say, look, from a social service to a selfless social entrepreneurship. So it has a transformed it from the guidance of ashram. So in the startup, what we do is every day we collect garbage, and through collecting the garbage, what the idea is, we use the electric vehicles. In fact, for the collection of the waste management, the idea is we used to have a heavy vehicle, but in fact it is not true. We use the electric vehicle where we converted all our we collect all our wet waste and a dry waste through this electric vehicle. And what we do with the wet waste, which means in Uppinangadi, it's one of the village in our district where we have taken up our startup. In that village, every day 1 ton, which means 1000 kg of wet waste is coming, and 500 kg of dry waste. This 1000 kg of wet waste, we are converting it into the compost with a hermiculture. You can see it in the picture where all the food waste is put into the bin, and this within a 5 to 7 days the maggots will form. It will start eating all that wet waste into compost. No need of electricity, no need of heavy maintenance. Through this we are converting all the wet waste into the compost. So my dear friends, so even the compost, the end result is simply amazing. Even the water, the leacher water which come out from that pit, even it's having high nutrient level. So even the MCF is a Mangaluru Chemical and Fertilizer Limited company. It's a government-based institute, which says the compost is having 7.2 level of NPK, which means the minimum requirement is 1.2, but the compost is having 7.2. Even you can see it in picture where the impact is so amazing that we put out all the pesticides on our plants, and we saw the amazing result. The result of the plant is it's a 5 times more. So as a result, my dear friends, every year we are handling 5 lakh kg of garbage, and on a daily basis 15 to 20,000 beneficiaries, and as a result the impact is simply amazing. Earlier before we starting a startup in our village, they were throwing it into the dumping yard, but now through the continuous activity of Swachh Manas and Swachh Soch, lot of awareness, we converted all that into the recyclables. And even though we are contributing to the sustainable development of United Nations. So what is a take home? So my dear friends, the take home is very simple. The first one is take up one idea. So Swami Vivekananda said to all of us that take up one idea in your life, think of it, dream of it, let brain, muscle, nerve and every part of your body fill with this idea. This is a way to the success. So if I take too many ideas, we may not success. So as a result, we took it only one idea, that is Swachh Bharat, that is Swachh Mangaluru. So as a result, we was doing the Swachhata Abhiyan in our city. As a result, the 5 long years of selfless service got transformed into social entrepreneurship. So today we are social entrepreneurs where we are contributing to the Swachh Bharat continuously. And the second take home point is the 3 P's, as Swamiji says: purity, patience and perseverance. This is a very important for every kind of activity. Even in our Swachh Bharat, in Swachh Mangalore activities, where we were very patient, very purity, and the continuous and the consistency what we maintained in our work. So, and at last, we always say that the be a street sweeper. So as Martin Luther King says, be a street sweeper. So sweep, as he says, that be a street sweeper, sweep the street so well that the host of a heaven paused to say, here live the great street sweeper who did his job well. So my dear friends, what I'm trying to say is that the cleanliness work is not one day job. It is continuous work, and it has to be undertaken on a regular basis. So then only we can achieve Swachh Bharat on a continuous mode. So, my dear friends, the Swachhata and the Swachh Manas, what we did. The Swachhata and the Swachh Bharat is a very continuous process. So I hope this kind of ideas is inspired you at a larger extent. And my dear friends, this activity where we are doing is taken a new form of startup, and now we are giving a job, and we are supporting to the Atmanirbhar Bharat also. So in this way, the selfless service transformed it as a social entrepreneurship, and the Swachh Manas work also is not a 1 or a 2 days of job. It is continuous work where we are going among the public and we are creating lot of awareness to them. And now the people has actively involving, and now the universities has come up. The Mangaluru University has requested that please do start a zero waste campus in our university campus. At the same time, there is a famous temple in our region. It is called Katil Temple. They are also requested that please do start zero waste premises in our temple premises. So like such, so we are entering the every area. By this, we are creating lot of awareness. At least, so today we are, by the next year, we are reaching a 75th year of independent India. At least we may not achieve the Swachh Bharat by that time, but at least in the 100th year of independent India, we may give a legitimate idea or maybe a conclusion for Swachh Bharat. By that, we can create a Swachh Manas and the Swachh Soch among every citizens, making them to handle the garbage or maybe a waste by themselves. This is what the Ramakrishna Mission Mangaluru did a work with the blessings of all the Swamijis of the ashram. So it is my privilege to present these small ideas. I'm sorry for the some little technical issue in the middle. So I thank the Pujya Swami Bodhamayanandaji Maharaj and all the volunteers who are present here, and all the participants. If you have any question, please collect the email ID at the end from the volunteers, and even I can put the our email ID in the chat section so that you can message us, and further in inquiry we can share our thoughts there. So thank you so much, Swamiji, for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Ranjan. As usual, what a wonderful transformation of Swachh Manas and Swachh Soch towards the city and making it very clean, very practical Vedanta, which you are all practicing, which you are implementing, the thousands of volunteers, the amount of input, energy, time, resources, how Swamiji's spirit is working in the entire South Canara area is amazing, very inspiring. Dr. Modi ji, you have been to Mangalore, you have seen our work, you have this one or 2 minutes of remarks from your side. Dr. Vivek Modi, our faculty. You can unmute and speak, Dr. Vivek Modi.
Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste.
And Namaskar, Ranjan ji. And all
Namaste.
Namaste. Just one moment. Yes. I'm sorry, I was in another call simultaneously, so therefore there was some disturbance. Yeah. So I must say one thing, that when I visited Mangaluru and saw this entire program, it inspired me a lot. In the true sense, I have been always talking with the youth that we must become from problem talkers to solution seekers. And the authentic work, the Mangaluru Ramakrishna work, Math has been doing, and the way Ranjanji and Swami Vivekanandaji has been leading it is phenomenal. It is extremely inspiring, not just at the surface level, not just photo opportunity, but doing it in a very authentic way, looking at a long-term perspective. And today, as Ranjanji also told, that it's also becomes a way of social entrepreneurship. You solve the problem, and by that you contribute, and you also build your career in that. So that is win-win. That is what our country needs today. Thank you, Ranjanji, for giving such a wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Murthy. Thank you. So now we move into the second part of this webinar today. Here we have our friend, charismatic personality by name Amitabh Shah from Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Amitabh is a Yale University MBA graduate who rejected the corporate world job in the United States. And at a young age of 23, he launched Yuva Unstoppable to work for the street children of India. It's a very long-term plan, just like Ramakrishna Math in Mangaluru has taken this with the help of with the blessings of the great Swamis there. He gathered friends, began volunteering at homes for the elderly, slums and orphanages. He truly believes in what Gandhiji said, be the change you wish to see in the world. There was serious resistance for the first year from his friends and family. Amitabh did not give up, and in fact, his family is his biggest cheerleader. 8 lakh underprivileged children across 41 cities of India, partners with 100 top institutes in the world, whether it is the Pradhan Mantri Ji, Narendra Modi, late President Dr. Kalam, or whether it is the celebrities, the Bollywood stars, the sports stars, and other social workers, social activists in the country. They're all in the team of Amitabh, and we have been good friends last couple of years. And I requested him, what this was unstoppable, that brilliant word which Swami Vivekananda said, young India rise, which Amitabh is taking to the streets of India. And he has got amazing experiences, amazing results. So next 20-25 minutes, Amitabh will talk and present his thoughts before you, maybe a video or something. And then we'll conclude this session with some remarks and some observations. Amitabh ji, the platform is yours. Thank you very much for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you, Swami ji. Aapko namaskar. Aur sabse pehle, so I think everyone who's listening to this, I am 100% sure that after listening to Ranjan speak, not just all of our hearts were filled with joy, but Swami Vivekananda must be listening from upstairs, and he must be so delighted and so moved that what incredible work Ranjan and his team are doing. I give them all my congratulations and all my support, and God bless you. And we absolutely need more inspiring youth like you to drive us all towards Swachh, Soch, and Swachh Bharat.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So guys, I thought what I'll do is, Swamiji was kind enough to say 20-25 minutes. I'm a Gujarati, so I believe in, making the most out of that time. So I am just going to speak for 10 minutes. And then I see that there's more than 100 people who are on this Zoom, and the chat feature is open. So after 10 minutes, I would love for you guys to ask any questions that you have, so that, it can be a more personal and a more powerful conversation that we have today. So I'm just simply going to share my journey, my story. And I know a lot of young people are listening, so you guys will get some giggles out of it as well. So when I was 15, I went to the US to be a professional tennis player. I was living in an American family, going to high school there for my 11th and 12th grade, playing tennis for the school. And I thought, man, it's going to be a great life. I did 2 years of schooling there. Then I did 4 years of college at University of Alabama in computer science and management information systems. And then, like a typical Indian person who goes to the US, I got a job in IT. I got a job to work for Hewitt Associates. And I was about 21, 22. And I was making close to $100,000 a year. And I thought, man, this is fantastic. So I made 3 best friends at that time. And when I give you the names of my 3 best friends, you will know that Swami Vivekananda did not come into my life when I made those 3 friends. So it was vodka, tequila, and margarita. And almost 50% of my time and money that I was making, I was spending there. So my traditional Gujarati father said, look, Amitabh, this is not our culture. This is not how we raised you to be. You are wasting your time. Maybe you should go into your MBA and you'll figure out what the purpose of your life is. So like a lot of young people, I was like, okay, I'll do my MBA. So I got a full scholarship to go to Texas A&M. So I quit my job. And I thought for 2-3 months, I will go back to Ahmedabad. I'll go and play tennis. I'll go to the gym. I will party with my friends, meet my family. And then after 2 months, I'll go back to Texas A&M for my MBA, where I had the highest scholarship. Now, on the flight, they were showing a movie called Swadesh. Swadesh was with Shah Rukh Khan, where Shah Rukh Khan is this NASA scientist, and he comes back to India to meet his nanny, and then decides to work in the village and never go back. So all of us do get positively influenced by movies and media as well. There is a lot more negativity, but there definitely you can be inspired in the right direction as well. So as soon as I landed, I told my mom that, Mom, I want to go and meet Kamalaba. Kamalaba was my nanny. She had raised me. She would chase me with a glass of milk, put oil in my hair, bathe me when I was a little baby. And I was like, man, I've not seen her in 5-6 years. So in Ahmedabad, there is a very popular place called Nirma University, very popular college. Near it is Gota village. So straight from the airport, we went there. And Kamalaba was 82 years old. She was sitting under a tree outside the village. And the first thing she said when she saw me was, Beta, tu aa gaya? Ab main shanti se mar sakti hu. Now that you are here, I can die peacefully. So I said, why do you say that, Kamalaba? And she had shrunk to 4 feet 5 inches. Her back had some problems. She was only weighing about 30 kilos, friends. Very, very skinny, very frail. And I found out that she was being fed just once a day. Every day, the cooking and cleaning she had to do in the house. Sometimes her son would get drunk and beat her up. And the worst things, friends, if you see the mouths of children from Kashmir to Kanyakumari to Mangalore to Hyderabad, anywhere, you see the mouth of the street children, you will see that their teeth are rotten because they're chewing tobacco throughout the day. So for dinner, her son was feeding Kamalaba tobacco. So because it creates a false illusion that you've already eaten. So I was like, oh my God, I just saw a movie, got inspired and came to meet you. Came to say, what's up? But I can't leave her here anymore. So we brought her back to my home. We, immediately in about 2 weeks, we kind of nursed her back to health a little bit. She put on 2-3 kgs in that time. She was very, very happy. Now I had to go back to the US very soon. So I took her back. I thought that I cannot take her to her home. So let me take her to a good old age home. So behind the ISKCON temple in Ahmedabad, there is a wonderful Vruddhashram called Suvarna Mandir. I took her there, where I met her roommate Savitaba. And I asked Savitaba, why are you here? And she told me, son, my son and daughter-in-law said that they're going to take me on vacation for 2 days. And they left me here 2 years ago. Did my son send you to pick me up? I said, oh my God, no, but I'm like your son and I'll come and spend time with you. So I asked a few of my friends that, hey, why don't we go to this old age home? We are just wasting our time here all day long. So first day, 5 people came, then 20, then 30, then 40. And out of 40, by the end of the week, volunteers were coming to this old age home. I only knew 5, 6. Someone said, I'm his brother, I'm his aunt, I'm his uncle, I'm his grandfather. All kinds of people started coming to spend time at this old age home. And that time I realized that every young person wants to do something for their country. Maybe they don't have the right platform. And India, with 770 million people below the age of 35, might not have money, but definitely have the Yuva Shakti, and anyone can give 2 hours a week of their time. I thought you could be Adani's son, Ambani's son, or a rickshawala's son, or a housewife, or a doctor, or a lawyer, or a corporate employee, or the chief minister. 2 hours a week to go and teach maths, dance, science, English, music in a municipal school. Anyone can give. So I decided, maybe I will not go back to the US to do my MBA and I'll stay back. So I just told my mom that, Mom, I know in 3 weeks I have to go back, but I don't want to. But don't tell my father this. Exactly 5 minutes later, I get a call from my father and he says, hey, meet me on the 5th floor. Whenever my dad calls me on the 5th floor, friends, when we were children, he used to beat me and my brother, because we were in trouble. I was like, well, I'm 22 now. He won't, hit me, of course. And so he's like, what is this I hear that you want to not go back to the US? It's a full scholarship, I was like, it's okay, Daddy, I will manage. And then he's like, well, what is this? It's a non-refundable airline ticket. I was like, okay, it's okay, Daddy, I can manage. And then he's like, your brother's going to graduate from Harvard Business School and he'll drive a Ferrari. And what will you drive? You'll be on a bicycle? I was like, isn't that fantastic? We'll have a Ferrari in the house and I'll have a bicycle as well, so I can stay fit. So I'll have best of both the worlds. And then he's like, well, you don't understand anything, but who's going to want to marry you? Nobody wants to marry a poor person. First, make your wealth, and then you can give it when you're 60 and think of these things. I was like, Daddy, are you happy after getting married? Has anyone been happy after getting married? So he just started laughing and he said, you got answers to everything. It's a secondary story that now I'm married to Mrs. India, who's a phenomenal support system in the noble work we're doing. So to make a long story short, I did not go back to the US then. We started a volunteer movement. My dad and mom said that we'll let you live in our house for 6 months. We'll give you the food. But after 6 months, they became the biggest cheerleaders, my friends. And, I told them I have less needs. I don't have that many expenses. So, mere zarurat hai kam, to wajood mein hai dam. So very quickly, almost we mobilized 150,000 volunteers from 40 cities, from Prime Minister Modi to Dr. Kalam. All these wonderful people started coming and motivating our force. Swami Vivekananda came into my life a year into Yuva, and he's still there like a blazing sun. He does not go away. And a couple of years into Yuva, I went to Yale for my MBA, as I'd committed to my parents that I will get my MBA, don't worry. I went to Yale for my leadership. From Bill Clinton to many of the world's presidents have studied there. And then I declined a Wall Street offer, which about 12, 13 years ago was about $500,000, and came back because I was clear I want to work on the real streets of India. Basically, we mobilized volunteers from 100 companies, Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Adani, HDFC, Kotak, all these wonderful companies that employees were coming and volunteering to teach children. They said, Amitabh, have you seen the bathrooms in these schools? For 300 children, there's just 1 or 2 bathrooms. The dishwashing, drinking, hand washing areas in these government schools, there's just 1 faucet of water, right? Forget a smart classroom or laptops for the children. They paint the wall black and write on it with a chalk. Even when we go there for 2 hours a week, we have to hold our pee in. What can we do? So friends, at that time, we sat down with 3-4 municipal school children, a couple of billionaire philanthropists, the chief minister of the state of Gujarat, and we came up, I am Ahmedabad, and we came up with a blueprint that for something as little as 10 lakh rupees, we could upgrade the schools to UNICEF facilities, where for every 40 kids, there's a bathroom, every 40 kids, there's a separate faucet of water, dishwashing, drinking, hand washing areas were separate. We tied up with Google, put in smart classrooms. The entire curriculum is turned into audio visuals. We learned about Gandhi and liver kidney in a textbook. Now it's turned into cartoons. In Karnataka, it's in Kannada, right? In Gujarat, it's in Gujarati. In Maharashtra, it's in Marathi. We've got about 2,000 schools. And Swamiji will be happy to know it's not 800,000, but we have reached 900,000 children that we are touching right now. Many of our children are in IITs. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're engineers. They are paying it forward as well. So it's been a very, very blessed life. And I will just say that I met Swamiji about 3 years ago when both of us had gone to Baroda to give a talk at Ramakrishna Math. And I just heard Swamiji Bodhamayanandaji, and I really felt that he was Swami Vivekananda's incarnation, and the values he stood for, the joy with which he communicated. I very quickly fell in love with him, and always admire him. Last year, one of his students from Ramakrishna Math in Hyderabad, who was a school teacher in Rajasthan's Churu district, got in touch with her with Swamiji's reference, and I'm happy to say that we were able to transform 5 schools completely there and upgrade and provide them with ration and bathrooms and water facilities and smart classrooms and whatnot. But our vision is that we are not going to stop till we complete 10,000 schools in the next 5 years. And we are in about 18 states now. We'll be in every part of the country. So I thank you all again for this opportunity. We've been able to raise almost close to 150 crores in the last 3-4 years through corporate social responsibility. So if you guys have any questions, I open the last 6-7 minutes that are left. Even Swamiji, if you want to ask anything, or Ranjan, anyone, Dr. Vivek.
If you have any video, do you have that video of your activities? Is it readily available with you? No.
Sir, we can just speak. I think our video, I don't have it available, and Ranjan showed a beautiful work with before and after. So that is pretty much similar to what we do.
Similar.
Before and after pictures of bathrooms and water facilities.
It's a stereotype of the work, but I'll request the audience, the participants, young participants and the elders also are there. If they have any question, they can raise their hand and we will unmute you to speak. And directly we can save time to interact. It can be to Ranjan, it can be to Amitabh on Soch, Swachh Bharat, and what all of you can do or can be done, or your problems, you can raise your hand, please. Anybody, please, you can raise your hand. I will unmute, or we will unmute, and it can go forward.
And one more thing I would like to offer to all the young people here is that if you guys have gone through Ramakrishna Math's values, and if you guys are looking for jobs or internships, please feel free to email my office at ami@yuvaunstoppable.org. We have interns coming from all over the world, from Harvard, Stanford, IITs, all colleges everywhere. So if there is any kind of support we can give, and because we are working with so many companies, we can connect you for employment. And if you've got the values of Swami Vivekananda, then I would be delighted to make those connections.
So wonderful offering. Modi ji, you can.
Yes. Namaste, Amitabh ji. Such a heartening presentation. Always you, I remember you speaking even in Ramakrishna Math, Hyderabad. And so many eyes were swelled when you were speaking. You know, we could feel that pain, you know, which makes us work, and that's what humanity is about. So I have one question. When we get into these endeavors, a lot of youth actually they struggle from 2 kind of doubts or dilemma. One is, as we see, most of the people in the society in general, they are overcautious about career and drive it with a sense of fear. How will I make my ends meet? How will I get enough food? How will I get my own home? This is probably taking a primary thing in their mind. And the 2 kind of challenges what they have is like internal challenges, challenge, and external challenges, which are maybe in lack of resources and so on and so forth. So many able youth, they have asked this, that I want to help, I want to volunteer. So I would like to share your thought process is that how did you overcome your internal and external challenges as well? External is probably a bit easier, but internal is more challenging. Although you shared few things, sure. But I hope you get the point what I wanted you to.
Absolutely, it's a great question, Modi ji. Or see, a lot of these young people ask similar questions, that I've got these great values, I want to serve the society, but how do I pay the bills, for lack of a better word? You know, how do I take care of my family? So, you know, in our Vedas, it is said that who is a wealthy person? And a wealthy person is defined as someone whose desires are less than their source. So if I'm making just, let's say, 30,000 rupees a month, and my desires are only 15,000, then I'm a wealthy person. But if I'm making 30 crores a day, but my desires are of 100 crores a day, then I'll always be a poor person. So I very, very strongly say that, since childhood, we've been told that who's a successful man? Either someone who's rich, like Mukesh Ambani, or famous, I don't know, like Bachchan, or power, who's got power. Only these three people are considered successful. But I want to say that person following the path of spirituality, and who is happy, who's blissful, is the most successful. And a blissful person will do much better in his business as well, will do much better wherever he gets a job as well. If you're filled with values of Swamiji, getting a job at Microsoft or Google or IBM should be a joke, because you'll be fearless in your interviews. You'll have depth of the knowledge, not just technical, but also of a great personality. So I truly believe that all the young people, first of all, money is not bad. It is not an allergy. Be grateful to Goddess Lakshmi. Let it come as much as possible, be it through your business or your jobs or whatever you're doing. But now there's so many foundations which pay great. Like HDFC Bank has a foundation, Kotak has a foundation, there's UNICEF, there's World Bank, places where you can get a job which pays brilliantly well. At the same time, you can do great work. I think Ranjan gave example of the social businesses that he's running, where he's doing good and doing well. So there is absolutely nothing wrong in being a billionaire. So, I think as Swamiji said, that money is power. It's if it is used for the right causes. So good people with good values should have money. Nothing wrong with it. But if your heart says that I am born to just serve the humanity, then absolutely make Swami Bodhamayanandaji your role model and live a life like that. There is absolutely nothing wrong. So follow that path, or along with your job, you can also serve. Also, you can give your time. Money is not always needed. Maybe an encouraging word, maybe advice to someone, maybe listening to someone who's in depression or going through a tough time, patting someone on the back and saying, you will get back up again. I think these are ways how you could also serve. Modiji, we've got children who work for 4 hours a day selling vegetables, but are getting 96%.
No. Yeah.
I think there's some disturbance.
Yeah, it got disconnected. Anyway, wonderful. Shruti, you have got something to say? Your lessons today? Shruti, our volunteer, you have got something to say? Observations? Shruti can unmute and speak.
Maharaj, is it me?
1 second. Yeah. Shruti.
Okay. Pranams, Maharaj. Pranams to the guests, to the esteemed guests. In fact, it's an honor. It's an honor to listen from you. I learned a lot from the session in the beginning, Ranjan's session and also Amitabh's session. I think we have a problem in Hyderabad. We need you here more. I feel most of us, we youth, are sleeping a lot, and once in a while we get a chance to listen to such things. But I am unhappy with myself and a lot of youth here in Hyderabad. We need to start something, and I thank you for giving this ignition. It was it was a really great proof, I think I should say, that things are possible. Because most of us are just wondering whether we can or can't do such things. So I want to say we want you more here. If possible, can come down to Hyderabad when this COVID situation is over. We want to work along with you, and we want to start something in Hyderabad as well.
Already it is going on, and you say we're not going on. Join Ranjan there. Join Amitabh. Come on, get up your inspiration and put things into perspective.
Oh, yes.
Amitabh, your response to that. Amitabh, you can unmute, sir. Unmute, karo.
No.
Okay, but Spandana, you can unmute. Yuva Unstoppable.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Whatever Swamiji says we can do in Hyderabad, whatever Ranjan, if you can come up with an initiative to upgrade schools, we can do in Mangalore. Immediately, if you identify a school which is in very poor condition from a Swachhta perspective, we would love to support that in Mangalore. And because we've not done much work there. So, and your teammates, the youngsters there from the Mutt, can maybe help with the painting. They can teach the students. But we can start the work there immediately because the schools are shut. So we are happy to put in bathrooms and water facilities and smart classrooms so that the good work starts, and we can paint the walls with Swami Vivekananda's quotes so that the children are fired up as well when they come back and they have something good to look up to.
Ranjan, is there any
Sure. Yes, sure.
old age homes and facilities to the old people? We give food, we give water, but what about the moral support and the financial support? How are they able to take it in the old age homes or things like that, wherever you find difficulty? Anybody can answer, please? Are you able to hear me? Old age homes are giving all the facilities to the old people, food, water, etc. Are the volunteer just giving time to them, or any financial support and other guidance to them?
Swamiji, one small thing I will quickly share with the old age homes is what we have done is that we have got them to volunteer. The old people are volunteering and teaching children. So we have given tablets to some of the kids and to the elderly here in Ahmedabad. And the elderly who can tell stories or teach maths or teach English or about history, they are once a week spending 2 hours with the children in the municipal schools online, because if they feel they are contributing, then they stay younger.
Yes, the time is spent, and then their lethargy, their mental weaknesses will reduce, and they'll be much more productive, much more useful to the society. Wonderful. So it has been very fantastic, very wonderful, amazing. And for the benefit of new people, you can log into YouTube and just type Yuva Unstoppable founder, Yuva Unstoppable activities, or the Mangaluru Ramakrishna Mission's video in their website. Ramakrishna Mission Mangalore website is there. The video of 25, so many Swachh Bharat campaigns that they have done. It is all uploaded, and that will be a good visual for you. Seeing is believing. And very fortunate to have Amitabh with us. Amitabh, this is okay, no? ami@yuvaunstoppable.org.
Yes, that's my assistant's email. That's perfect, sir.
So somebody called Lakshmi Verma has raised her hand. Please unmute and speak. Lakshmi Verma, you want to ask something? Spandana, please do the, Lakshmi Verma, please.
Ram Swamiji.
Pranam.
To all the invitees today. Sir, it's really great to hear you. I'm belonging from North Uttar Pradesh. So as I'm a teacher, and I always wanting to know something like something by which I can help, and which I also can make some differences in the society. So can you please suggest me, or can you please help me here, that I also can start to help old age people, and as I'm a teacher, so I can help, and I can give my support to the society with the teaching also. So can you please give me some suggestions to start something here, or from your side, can I get something like a kind of help to start something like this?
Lakshmi ji is in Kanpur, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. Yeah.
देखो लक्ष्मी जी बिल्कुल, और अब तो क्या है कि दुनिया एकदम छोटी हो गई है, because we are all on Zoom only. So absolutely, if you send an email, please send your profile also. What we'll do is that हमारे बहुत सारे बच्चे all over India में, based on what आपको पढ़ाने में मजा आता है, हम आपको कनेक्ट करा देंगे 2-3 बच्चों के साथ, धोबी के, रिक्शा वाले के, प्यून के बच्चे, but who are getting more than 80% in their commerce or their arts or their science. छोटे बच्चे चाहिए तो छोटे बच्चे भी आपको दे सकते हैं, और आपको इतना मजा आएगा उनके साथ, इतने अच्छे प्रश्न आपको पूछेंगे, and you will feel very powerful as you contribute. So happy to do that for everyone.
I'll be loving that, sir. And I also I want to ask, like you quoted at the very starting of your conversation, you helped women in old age. So here in Kanpur, I try to find out some old age home, but I wasn't so able to reach there. So can you like I basically want कि आप ऐसा कुछ start करें यहाँ पर और ऐसा help करें कि मैं भी कुछ ऐसे लोगों को इकट्ठा करके ऐसी कुछ help कर पाऊँ old age peoples की भी, or some ways, by some ways, you just suggest me some.
बिल्कुल आप email कीजिएगा. We'll definitely plan something, work something out in Kanpur.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We have got another small 2-3 minutes agenda. I wish Ranjan and Amitabh listen to our young volunteers speaking on Indian culture and taking a oath. Then we'll conclude today. Hemant and Monica, please. Hemant. Yeah. Baba. Lips क्या हुआ?
One minute.
Itchy.
Swamiji, there is something glitch in this Zoom. I don't know what happened.
Monica is ready. Monica.
Yes, Swamiji, I'm ready.
Yeah, please continue. We'll save time. Yeah, Monica has to continue.
Jai Ramakrishna Swami.
Yeah.
Jai Ramakrishna Swami.
Jai Ramakrishna.
Thank you for giving me such a great opportunity, Swamiji. Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you, Swamiji, for giving me such a great opportunity. Namaste to Honorable Swamiji, revered guest speakers, respected volunteers, and beloved spectators. Swami Vivekananda was a monk, a patriot, an excellent orator, and a lifelong karma yogi who dedicated each and every second of his whole life for the sake of country, people, and Sanatana Dharma. The worthy and inspiring messages to youth by Swami Vivekananda. My faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come my workers. They'll work out the whole problem like lions. My hope of the future lies in the youth of character, intelligence, renouncing all for the service of others, and obedience, good to themselves and the country at large. Practice virtue, pursuing virtue, become a in virtue, shine as an embodiment of noblest virtue and heroic spirit to goodness. Youth is meant for the grand process. Youth life is the active development and fulfillment of these processes. These are the words, great words said by the Swami Vivekananda. Thanks to Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda firmly believed that the nation's youth held the key to solving various problems of India. He repeatedly gave the call for the youth to awake, arise, and work for the nation. His life's mission was to see India and its people rise and reclaim its past glory. His work aimed at uplifting the poor and establishing of Dharma. I, Monica Karnam, the youth of Bharata, take this to strengthen our by Vivekananda's message and explain the importance of our Sanskriti to all my classmates, family members, and my friends. My hearty gratitude to Swamiji and one and all for giving me this gracious golden opportunity. I feel really blessed to get this opportunity, Swamiji. Thank you so much. I pass it to Hemant Garu. Hemant Garu, over to you. Namaste. Jai Ram. Swamiji.
Thank you, Monica, for your time. Though little signals were little bad, but hope the message has gone forward to the students. We'll conclude today because there is another little program coming up. Wish you all the best in your life. Study Swamiji and implement his teachings in college and out of college also. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. Really feel blessed.
So we shall present a small song to end our program, just for the benefit of all the participants.
The history of the world is a history of few men who had faith in themselves.
Yes.
The world is a history of few men who had faith in themselves. That faith calls out the divinity within. All the great prophets, saints, and seers of the world, what did they do? In one span of life, they lived the whole life of humanity. I believe that India will awake again. If anyone could, with all his heart, could love the people of its country, bereft of the grace of affluence, downtrodden, ever starved, fallen from an envious, India needs the sacrifice of at least 1,000 of our men, minds, and not tools.
Checking. Screen is paused. Well, thank you once again, Ranjan ji, Amitabh Shah, and all other participants, young and old, of this interesting webinar on Swachh Manas, Swachh Soch for a Resurgent India. Hope with this inspiration and support given by Ranjan and given by Amitabh, we shall guide the youngsters here to take up some interesting projects, interesting seva projects, and improve their life and the life of the society and the country. You can write to Amitabh, where email ID was given in the chat box. You can write to Ranjan in Mangalore, or you can write to me at hyderabad.vihe@rkmm.org for support and guidance. Participate in the human excellence activities, and we shall take this message forward. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you, Namaste, and Shubhavaram and Shubhadinam. Thank you, Ranjan. Pranams to all the
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes. Sure, Swami. Thank you.